Welcome to this module on case analysis. In this module, we will be covering what does the analysis part of the case interview entail, the three types of analysis that you need to master to stand out during the analysis phase of the case interview, and finally, what are some of the common analysis mistakes that candidates make that tends to derail their case interview performance. Let's zoom in on the analysis phase. We have already covered the opening phase and the structuring phase. In the analysis phase, your structure logic will inform the analysis to be performed. So keep constantly referring back to your structure logic to guide your work. There are primarily three types of analysis that you might need to execute. One is market sizing, the second is data interpretation, third is brainstorming. In a typical case interview, you could expect 2 to 3 analysis to be conducted. Now, let's look at key elements that will help you differentiate or stand out during the case interview, right? The first is demonstrating thought transparency, right? So, what does it mean? What it means is before you ask for data, execute any analysis, share your thought process with the interviewer. Provide transparency in terms of what data you need, why do you need it, and what analysis do you plan to execute with it. This is a client-friendly way of communicating, right? So remember, in a case interview, they are assessing whether you have the capabilities to do the job in terms of problem solving, etc. But also they're trying to assess, can I put this candidate in front of the client, right? So when you are dealing with clients, you need to enable them or help them follow your thinking, right? So therefore, when you're doing any quantitative analysis or any analysis for that matter, make it very clear to the interviewer why you're doing this, right? Second, always ensure that the analysis is purposeful, right? Don't just start doing math for the sake of math, right? For example, I see a lot of candidates when they get a complex exhibit, which let's say is in numbers, they try to take some time and try to convert them into percentages, assuming that will give them some insights, right? Or hoping that that will get them noticed by the interviewer, right? But remember, the goal of each analysis is to derive some critical insights, right? That will help you test certain hypotheses and will drive you towards the answer to the key question, right? So any analysis that you're doing, which is not helping you drive closer to the answer to the key question, is not purposeful, right? It is in fact noise. It is not helping you solve the key question, right? So ensure that the analysis is purposeful. It is helping you or taking you closer to the answer to the key question. Third is don't get so lost in the weeds that you lose sight of the big question, right? Or the key question, right? After each analysis that you conduct, synthesize the insights, right? And keep connecting back, keep relating it back to what does this mean for our client objective, right? For example, let's say that if the objective is increase in profits, and I've executed one analysis which has given me $200 million profits, and my objective is to achieve $500 million profits, related back to the numerical target. And you could say something like, okay, we've achieved $200 million of profit opportunity. We are still short of $300 million of profit opportunity. So therefore, I would look at analysis Y or, the other analysis that you might have charted out or drafted in your structure logic to achieve the remaining profits, right? Let me summarize the key elements here, right? In essence, the key to a standout analysis is to stay very laser focused on the key question, right? You should always remember the key question as you're driving the analysis with the interviewer, right? Use your structure as a guide while staying flexible. For example, if the interviewer suggests an alternate approach, be open to it, right? Because your initial structure is only a suggestion. Share your thought process, focus on insights, the so what of the quantitative answer that you've got, and synthesize and bring it all together to deliver an answer, right? Now, typically in MBB interviews, you can expect 2 to 3 analysis per case. And there are 3 types of analysis that you might need to conduct, right? First is the market sizing or estimation. Here, you're tasked with estimating the size of a market. For example, you might be asked to, let's say, estimate the market size of tea consumption in the UK or the global sales of Tesla, right? The second category is data interpretation. Here, you're provided with data in terms of charts and tables, and your task is to interpret the data within the context of client situation and derive meaningful insight, right? Always remember that an exhibit, right, is a container of information, but interpreting the exhibit holds no value, right? It's not useful. You have to interpret the exhibit in the context of the client, right? In the context of the client objective, in order to move closer to the answer to the key question. The final category is brainstorming. Here you are expected to generate ideas to address a specific problem or to pursue an opportunity. For instance, you might be asked to brainstorm ways to increase, let's say, disposable income, or how can an e-commerce company reduce shipping time, right? Let's now, look at some key takeaways that we have from this particular lesson, right? And there are some key lessons that we learned. One is the 3 elements that help us stand out during the case analysis. First is thought transparency, being very clear in terms of why you want to execute this analysis, what analysis you want to execute, and how will this drive us towards the answer. Second is being very clear on the purpose of the analysis, right? Not doing math just for doing math, right? If it doesn't serve any purpose. And third is not getting lost in the weeds. Always keeping track of the big picture, always tying it back in terms of how will this specific analysis help me or move me closer to the answer to the key question. And finally, we looked at the 3 types of analysis that typically we might need to do during a case interview, which is market sizing, data interpretation, which would come in the form of an exhibit that is given to us, and we have to interpret the exhibit and provide insights after interpretation. And then we might have to do some case math related to the insights that you have gathered. Then we also talked about brainstorming, right? Where we are expected to generate ideas to address a specific problem or to pursue an opportunity. Thank you for listening. I hope this was useful. In the next video, the module, we will go deeper into one of the analysis type, which is market sizing. And then we will cover each of the 3 analysis types. Thank you.